Hey, let me start our discussion on the creation story in Genesis. It presents a pretty orderly account. God creates everything in 6 days and rests on the seventh. What's interesting to me is how it moves from chaos to order, light, sky, land, plants, animals, and finally humans. So what's your take on it? Do you see it as literal history, a metaphor, or something else?
That's a great question. Personally, I see it more as a rich religious metaphor than a literal historical account. Its poetic structure and themes seem more focused on meaning and purpose than scientific details. It's not about how the universe was made scientifically, but why it matters.
I get that. The repetition and structure really give it a symbolic feel. And that phrase, God saw that it was good, repeats like a refrain. It's less about cosmic mechanics and more about order, meaning, and value.
Exactly. One thing that still resonates today is that idea of inherent goodness and intention. It pushes back against the idea that life is random or meaningless. And the idea that humans are made in God's image, that still shapes how we think about human dignity and equality.
Yeah, that concept has definitely influenced a lot of ethical and social ideas over time. So how do you see the story shaping our relationship with nature? That have dominion line has been interpreted in very different ways.
For sure, I think dominion gets misunderstood a lot. It's not about exploiting nature, it's about stewardship. Genesis also says humans should tend and keep the garden, which sounds a lot more like caretaking than controlling. That fits well with environmental ethics today.
That's a refreshing way to look at it. Makes it more of a responsibility than a license to dominate. Do you think religion and science can actually work together on environmental issues, or are they just too different?
I definitely think they can work together. Science gives us the data and tools, but religion brings moral motivation and meaning. One explains how the world works, the other asks why it matters. When they team up, they can be really powerful, especially in tackling something like climate change.
Totally. And when people feel like they're part of a bigger story, they're more likely to act. Science can warn us, but stories move us. So how do we get these two worlds talking to each other more?
First, by focusing on shared values like justice, care, and responsibility. Then, creating real spaces where scientists and faith leaders can learn from each other. And honestly, just telling better stories. Stories that blend truth and meaning, data and heart. That's how we get people to care.
I love that, especially the storytelling part. It's how humans have always made sense of the world. And honestly, this conversation we're having, it feels like a small version of that integration, where tradition and reason don't clash but collaborate.
Couldn't agree more. When we bring together spiritual wisdom, scientific insight, and ethical imagination, we're not just solving problems. We're reshaping how we live. Thanks for sharing this space with me. It's been a meaningful journey.
Thank you, too. Let's hope this is just one of many conversations that help reconnect us with each other, with the earth, and with the stories that still have so much to teach us.